Welcome to Building Blocks Fridays. Today we're going to be sharing the three main types of show graphics:
overlays, lower thirds, and animations.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. My name is Ana Gil.
And I'm Fuljens Henry.
And we are here today in this amazing Friday with that great, right? Because we have to be celebrating. It's going to be a long weekend.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So we're over here dancing bachata, I know, early in the morning, warming up, right? With, for those of you who did not know, right? This amazing coffee. It's Ecamm Network coffee, everyone.
It's actually really
good.
It's really good.
It's really good. I want to find out, though, if it is a light roast or if it is a medium or dark.
Definitely not dark.
It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's not dark. It's kind of medium or light.
Yeah, light or medium, yeah.
Because, I got energy, and if I drink light roast, I'm going to be working out for hours or being productive. Yeah. So how's everybody doing in this Friday, everyone? And how do you like the new time that we have for all of you? We were trying to get everyone's suggestions on new times, and we decided on 10 a.m. So hopefully it's great for everyone, and you'll be able to enjoy all the amazing graphics and information that we have for you for getting your shows looking really great and professional with show graphics. So yes, all right. So let's see who's in the comments.
All right, let's see. Hello, Parker. Yeah, Parker.
Parker is one of the first ones in all of our streams. Parker, you're awesome. You're awesome. And I'm over here looking over like this way. So I'm looking like...
we can look right here. Paul Duncan, good
morning.
That's true. Mr. Moderator.
Mr. Moderator, the best moderator ever. For those of you who do not know Paul Duncan, he is in our comments, and he's the one who moderates the entire stream. So if you have any questions, you make sure to write a Q in front of it, or Mr. Paul will remind you of it.
And speaking of Paul, we got Paul Dixon here.
Paul Dixon, hello. Don't worry about it. The coffee is going to be at the store, I believe, today.
But
so
he wants the Ecamm mug.
He got his coffee, but got you. But the coffee itself is going to be at the store. It's going to be in the beans as well as ground, whichever one you prefer.
You have a preview of that, right?
I do have a preview. This is the ground one. Look at how amazing this is. And it reads ENN Morning Brew. Look at this amazingness. Let's check out the Sony's amazing focus that you all talk about.
I don't know what
you gotta hold it. You gotta hold that.
There you go.
Oh, there it
is. You gotta focus like a Sony Pro, Miss Nikon.
Okay.
Miss Nikon.
I'm a Nikon gal. What can I say?
Dr. Omar, good morning.
Good morning.
Tech Troublemaker, good morning.
Good morning. Victor, hola, and
Andy
Lehman.
Good to see you.
I went to Lehman College.
Hey, Chloe. Time works for me. Watching from Belgium. Welcome from Belgium.
Yes, welcome.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, this is so great.
Eden,
look at you.
Hello, Eden.
Gosh.
We have Dean here.
Dean,
awesome.
Yes. I mean, everybody. Okay, so we need another shirt. I do think this is light roast.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a little.
Paul Dixon needs both.
Gotcha. Paul, look at we actually. The cool thing about the Nixons in our present so is like they send us so many different mock-ups for mugs until we finally decided on this one. This one's pretty good. It holds a lot of coffee or tea if you're a tea drinker, and it has like a nice little belly, and it has the orange inside.
I like the belly.
Yeah, the belly's great. Yeah. And the coffee tastes coffee has a nice light taste, and I do believe it's light roast.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I'm getting a little hyper
on the light side. The Gospel Source. Thank you for joining in. Always enjoy your shows. Thank you so much. Good to see you here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, Andy, you went to Lehman College. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
What?
Because I said I went to Lehman, and he said, "Oh, you did? Cool." Lehman College. Yes. The Gospel Source joining. Oh, thank you so much. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it that all of you are here. So we're here today. We're going to share the three main types of show graphics or, video graphics, whatever you are working with. And these are, like we mentioned, overlays, lower thirds, and animations, right? So, Fulgence, what do we say we go right into it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Starting with overlays, right?
Yes, overlays are the larger general graphics that you see on screen during a show, such as camera overlays, elements,
Such as shapes.
and logos. Yes, so these are the overlays. Now, when we go to lower thirds,
So lower thirds are the smaller graphic elements that you often see on the bottom of the screen, featuring the name and title of a speaker or interviewee, for example, like this.
yes. And then finally, we have animations. And animations are the most complex type of graphics and often include moving objects, just like what you saw there. And it can get more elaborate and extensive, right? So together, all of this, yes, it makes up your show. So for those of you who are loyal to Building Blocks, thank you so much for being here. This is going to be a refresher for you because we're going to go over the interface and how you start designing in terms of color palettes and things like that. But then before we get started, we want to know how many of you are
New users.
right? Ecamm Live, or are new users to designing with Ecamm Live.
Yeah.
So we want to know that so that we know how basic
We
or
wanna
how
know.
yeah
We
well,
wanna
how
know.
we want to know how basic and how how the mix in there. Okay. Yes,
Awesome.
the graphics level. Oh, I aspire to. There we go, Eden. Yeah, don't you got this? You got this. And we gotta check out Camo. Her Camo has now overlays that you can add to your to the screen. So that's awesome. Okay, so Andy is new. All right, let's put it here so I can see it. I don't have to be turning or break. Okay. And okay. Ambi is new. Welcome.
Awesome.
I heard-
Make it British. We used Ecamm a few years ago, but I have just picked it back up again. Newbies. Yes, we got newbies here.
Okay.
Let's get into the content.
Let's get into the content. Let's do it. We
Yes.
got newbies. Okay, so for those of you, this is going to be an amazing refresher course. So we're going to take it from the interface, right? So when you're going to design inside of Ecamm, we design with text overlays, okay? And the way you get there is by pressing the T. So if you see, Mr. Fuljens, are you?
Let's go into demo mode.
Yes. There we go. Demo mode. Okay. So the T right here. Let's get the zooming. Okay, right here on the overlays panel. Okay, so this is your scenes panel, and this is your overlays panel. Okay, so the T is on your overlays panel. So you can either click it here or you can do Command N to pull it up, right? Go here.
It is probably hiding underneath.
Behind there, yeah, because we
Hold on a
have
second.
for those of you who are familiar with us, we have a new setup
Video
today.
monitor off.
Yes,
And
here
then
we
let's
go.
slide this on over.
Here we go.
And output video monitor back on. There you go.
There we go.
Let's
We
go.
have
We
some stuff. All right. So command as we were, right?
Yeah, command as you were.
N to bring it up, or you can use the T on the overlays panel. All right. So this is, once you do it, this is your overlays panel. You're gonna see all of these great things that we're gonna go over. So Fulgence, I know we had it in a going through the color palette, but I think we should start with this part first and then continue to the color palette. So you want to take it from there?
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
let's go.
Yeah, so we're just gonna walk you through the entire the text overlay panel, right? So right here at this in the body here, this is where you're actually going to type your text, right? Type here, right? And there are several things you can do here, right? So you have your collection of fonts. You have your font family here. So this is where you can change your font. So if we go to all fonts, you have some fonts that are native. to your Mac, and there's fonts that you can also import as well, right? So we have a mixture of both, right? Right. So right now we're on Helvetica. So if we would change it to, let's try Hanzi. Oh, that's so cool, right? So we have that, and then you have the size here, so you can increase the text, the font size, and you have, and let's move back over to the left side where you have a background, right? So you could add or remove background, and if you highlight the background, you can change the color of the background as well, right? So all this is very basic, right? Very easy to follow. And then we have some other elements here, right? Corners. This is only applying to like if you have a background, right? So you can choose to keep everything sharp edges, or you can actually round out your edges, and then you can make them even rounder by going to the corners here. Right now it's set to 12, and if you increase it, notice what's happening to the background, right? It's rounder, right? And margin here, margin is going to increase or decrease the background, right? So if we go to margin, see what happens to the background, and if we decrease it, right, it turns to have like a pill shape, right? And then we have border here. Border is basically going to add a border around the background. So this only applies if you have a background. So if you don't have a background, you're not going to have this border effect here, right? So if we increase it, see what's happening. And if you want to see it a little bit better, we're going to change the color, right? So you can see the border much better, right? And everything is on a slider. And effect applies to the font itself. You could actually see the shadow on this font type here. Oh boy. Let's go back. Let me zoom out a little bit. Right, you can actually see the shadow there, right? So if let's say we go to light glow, you can see the glow, right? Switch to glow, and then we could actually choose to not have any effect at all, right? So let's just uncheck that. So you have like a standard font, right? You know, you like the zoom in and out on one key.
Yeah.
I like it on separate keys.
You just have to be gentle with your finger, like.
And then aside from that, you have fixed position as your style, but you have different animations, right? So let's say you want your font to appear on the screen and static, you could keep it as fixed position, but let's say you want to fly in. That's going to mean like you're on a blank screen and it was going to slide in from one side to the other, from left to right, or top to bottom, or it can scroll across the screen continuously, right? So let's say it was flying from the top, and then we just click add, it's going to come down from the top, right? So from the bottom, it will do the same thing. Or if it's from left to right, that's the animation that's going to do. And then if you do scrolling ticker, it's going to scroll across the screen continuously like so, right? And you could adjust it. You notice like the edges are round because we chose to round the edges. But if we remove that, you can have like a solid edges on both sides, right? So it's going to keep that pill shape because we manipulated the margin and the corners. Okay, so this is the text overlay interface in a nutshell, aside from the colors panels. And then one thing that we didn't mention is that you could change the alignment. This is if you had like just text, like let's say you had a paragraph or a sentence, right? You can change the justification, align left, align right, or align center, right? So you will not see it. You probably won't notice it if we just have like type here, but if we have like a sentence, it'll make more sense. And something that people do not notice, if you want to create a line break, if you want to add a new line, it does state it down here to add a new line, hold down shift while pressing the return key, but some people do not notice that. So we're just going to do that, right? Hold shift, return, and then you could create a new line. New line. Right? And that's how you create a new line. So that is the text overlay interface in a nutshell, aside from the color panel.
Yeah. Yes. And okay, so let's see. Chloe, she writes, I can do overlays, but I would like to improve, and I would love to be able to use animations. You are the right place.
Yes.
You're in the right place. Tony, hello, Tony. And
Janice is here
Janice
too.
is here, yes.
Wayne is here as well. Good to see you, Wayne. And Zombie Tech Reviews.
Love the dropper. Okay, so here we go. Okay, you love the dropper. Let's go.
Now we're going to go into the colors.
Yes, so we're going to go Command N again to get back in here. And the colors, the colors is what makes graphics look amazing, right? You can have some graphics, for example, looking a specific color, for example, now the yellow and the teal. And if you change the colors, it can look completely different and create a different mood. Okay, so colors are amazing. And for this, when we are designing, is a great practice to have your font collections and to have your color palette. So Fuljens already went over the fonts. Right. So for adding a font, for example, a collection, you will add it here. Right. So this is the plus sign, and any font that you import into your Mac will be here. Right. It would just be here. Sometimes if you are a font lover like we are, it can get out of control. So creating collection is really, really important. Right.
And also there's two ways to create the collections, right? You can create it in your font book on your Mac natively, right? Or you can create it here in Ecamm, right?
Yeah. So since you're already in Ecamm, right, you can just go ahead and add it there as well. And then if you create a collection, for example, like Fuljens just mentioned, you create it outside of Ecamm on your Mac, and you create a folder there, it will also show, the folder will also show up here.
Yes.
And by folder, we mean the collection. Okay. Yes. So in here we go. You just go and add, and then you're going to add a name for it. So let's just.
Did we say hi to Tony?
We did.
Okay.
You wanted to make sure, Tony,
drink more coffee.
That feature request that you put out, like he's like loving that. So as we were, okay, and you can in here we're gonna zoom in, right? So I just clicked the plus button in the collection inside of Ecamm, and then we're gonna go for the name. So we're gonna say new episode, and I like doing capital letters episode. Yeah. I like doing capital letters. You can do however you want. Okay, so we're going to go to new fonts. Now that we have new fonts, we can now choose the family that we want to add to this fonts. Okay, so we can go to all fonts, and then we can select the fonts that we're going to add to the new collection, new fonts. So for us, we had here, let's see. Actually, let me go to the one that we selected before. Let's go to some sans. We're going to add Helvetica New because we really love that font. And if you click here and you drag the entire family into your new episode collection, it's going to add all of the typefaces. Okay. So if you don't want to have all the typefaces, you're just going to drag it individually. The typefaces over here, I'm just going to say I'm going to want regular. And we use thin also, right? Thin and ultralight. Okay. And then now we're going to go back there and we're going to see. Oh, I added it to new fonts. Okay. Yeah, wait, let's go back. Helvetica New, we're going to add it to new episode. Helvetica New episode. And then we're going to add Bebas News. Actually, Bebas News is awesome. We're gonna add Bebas News here. I'm using the trackpad, everyone, and let me tell you, I'm getting used to this. So anyway, so I don't like it though. All right, so as you can see, we added is here now, right? So new episode, we have Bebas New and we have Helvetica New. And in here, I just drag the entire family. So now you see that is here. Had I dragged just the regular, it would have just done the regular font in here and not the entire family. Okay, so now that we have the collection, we are going to go to creating color palettes, okay? Color palettes are as fun as fonts because when you are designing an overlay, lower third, camera, whatever it is, you have your color palette, you have your fonts. So it's easier for you to design because you're just gonna go straight up, okay, this is what I'm working with, and you have everything available to you, and you don't have to waste time scrolling down looking for the fonts. I don't know if that happens to you guys, but that happens to us. That used to happen to us a lot before. So, okay, so now we're gonna go. Let me know if you have any questions. If we have any questions about this. Okay, so then now we're gonna create our color palette, right? So here we go. Thank you. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like the trackpad. I really don't. I like the mouse is better. The trackpad make me sweat. Okay, so we're gonna go to creating color palettes, and this is how we are going to do it. Let me see this. We're gonna go here. Okay, so you have the let me zoom it in. You have the wheel here, then we have the sliders where you can enter the codes if you have a hex code, and then here you're going to create your collection. Okay, we're going to click on the three dots and we're going to say new, right? And in new we're going to name it again, because on the name of it automatically names it to unnamed, so we're going to rename it, and we're going to rename it to new episode, because why not, right? To keep it consistent. We're going to rename. Okay, now you have it there. It automatically adds a color for you, and white is this good color. So we just go with white. All right, and now we're going to add other colors. So we're going to do something super cool here. We're going to zoom out. All right, and we're going to go to we're going to cancel out of here. Actually, we didn't have to cancel. Let's go back here. We're gonna go. Actually, yes, we do have to cancel, because I want to go to the thumbnail so we can get the colors there. Yeah, let's go to the thumbnail.
We're muted here. Oh no, we're good here.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and we're gonna here. Okay, so we're gonna select the color picker in here, and we're gonna select purple, and then we're going to drag it there. We're going to select. This is blue, but it's kind of black at the same time, right?
Yeah, it's like a midnight.
A midnight. We drop it here. And then we're going to select this purple, because it's kind of different. And then we're going to position it under the other purple, so that we can
get some of the turquoise or teal or whatever that is.
We're going to get all of it.
All of that.
All of it. We're getting all of it. I mean, like, we just want to have it in there. Okay, and then this one is kind of darker.
Yeah.
Teal, and we have it there. So you see, now you have your awesome color palette. You can rename it however you want to in here by just clicking on it, and then you can name whatever color you would like to name it. You could even have the hex codes here if you wanted to, whatever you want to do. Okay, so now that you have that, let's go back to our demo mode. Now that you have that, can you see how easy it would be to design, right? You have your color palette that you can place on your screen. You have your font family. So you're going to be working with Bebas News and Helvetica New. And then you're going to also be working with your color palettes right here. So whenever you are designing, let us see our face. Whenever you are designing, you just have all of your information there, all of your assets, everything that you need, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we have? Chloe, cool tip. Love the color palette. I'm gonna use the next time. Yes, this is amazing. And there's another color picker, which is really fun to use. It goes even deeper in choosing colors, and that is color Slurp. And I do believe we have it on, but we will cover that when we do the additional apps that you can use to enhance your colors.
Yeah.
But it's color Slurp, and when you pick a color, it goes. We do it again.
No, I'm not doing it again.
So anyway, so that is the basic of your designing with Ecamm Live. Okay, so now Fuljens, go ahead and let's continue with the emojis.
Yeah, let's go into some emojis, right? Because if we go back to here, overlays here, right? And when we're mentioning, oh great, so we're still in a demo mode, which is awesome, right? When we're mentioning shapes, notice that little bookmark icon up there that we selected, right? So these are a collection of triangles, right? So it's 4 triangles. We have 2 white triangles in the back and to whatever color that is in the
teal,
front.
dark teal in the front.
Right?
We are so small here, Fuljens. I know Fuljens wanted to keep this camera overlay so small.
This is why you designed this one.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, this one is great. You can see us great.
Right.
But that, yeah.
So these are a collection of shapes which are available to you natively in your text interface, right? Because these are emojis that are on your Mac, right? What are they, like bullets and pictographs and wingdings and all those good things, right?
And we can go there. We can go there and show them before we go into the next, which the next step that we're going to show you after this is going to be when you go into the Ecamm Live interface and you are on your overlays panel and in your scenes panel, it's really, really important for you to organize the scenes and the folders. So we're going to cover that next, but Fuljens, go for it.
Absolutely. Right. So if you please do the zoom in, zoom in and
I'm
out on one key. Thank you. On one Stream Deck key. Show emoji panel, right? This little smiley face here, we're going to click that. And let's zoom out. Right? So, of course, you're familiar with these emojis that are available on your iPhone and whatnot, right? So those are all there. But then if we come down to arrows, bullets and stars, right? This is where you'll find those triangles.
Yes.
Currency symbols, Latin, letter-like, right? And then if you go down to pictographs, you have all these different shapes to play with and get creative with, right? Punctuation, right? So if you want like like you could take a dot or, you know, and turn that into like a circle, for example. So all these are available to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and one thing to mention is that if you have not used the pictographs yet, you will have to install it. It's already in your Mac. You just have to enable it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you click the install, it will go behind the window.
Yeah, the windows,
right?
yeah.
And then it will give you the
program panel.
wheel, and you're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
But then you just have to lower the Ecamm. Yeah.
Yeah, just move the Ecamm program window out the way, and you'll see that notification there.
Yeah. You'll click OK to download, and then you will be set, and then it will be here.
Yeah. So let's find that triangle, for example, right? So the triangle is under bullets and stars. You have a series of triangles here.
Yes.
Right. And let's say, for example, we wanted to actually, you know, there's an easier way to do it, right? And that's to search, right? So if there's any type of shape you want to look for, you can just use the search interface there.
Yes.
Right. So we type triangle. And then a series of triangles will appear, right? From under the character viewer. And then let's say we want to create a triangle. We want to move a triangle to the upper left corner. Let's take this one, right? Black upper left triangle. So we'll select that one. And now it's here in our text overlay panel. We can close this out for now. And then we can remove background. So we have a white. Notice there's a shadow there, right? And the shadow is prominent in this one, right? Some fonts, or you know, you won't see the shadow, but like this one, you see it prominently. So if you don't want that, just uncheck effect altogether, and then you have no effect, no glow, no shadow.
Yeah, and because we know that you are going to be so excited because you have extra time this weekend to play around and design amazing designs, right, for your broadcasts or videos. Let us tell you one important thing about the fonts in triangles. So when you're using triangles, you have to make sure that the font that you choose for it is, let's look for it, because this is what could happen.
Right. So for example, we basically did restore default style. I believe it's on Helvetica right now. So we add it. Here's the triangle here. Actually, yeah. So that's fine, right? So the key to making sure that, you know, the dead pixels don't get in your way. Can we clear the interface now?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Is to make sure that before you add this, restore default style, and it'll take care of it. So you don't have to worry about the font type or anything like that. So you're good to go, right? So notice that it's not, you know, it can go flush up in the corner there, right? Let's try something, right? Let's play around. Let's see if we were to like, for example, go to all fonts, and then see it's defaulting to this ping fang, right? But make sure you just select restore default style, and then you'll be good to go. So you don't have to worry about that. But let's just see if we were to select. Okay, now let's go back to new episode.
There we go. Look at you.
And regular, right? Save.
And it
still
still
it's
does it.
working.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
what
good.
happens? So what happens is that if this happens to you, this is the reason why. Okay. So sometimes if you choose the triangle, which is the easiest one to design with, by the way, you will get to this point, and
Yeah.
it will be a lot of dead
Dead
pixels
pixels.
around the triangle. So it won't let you have it flushed like this.
Yeah.
Right. So if that happens to you while you're designing this weekend,
Yeah.
you go back to the interface and you
Restore default style.
Yeah, restore
and you won't
default.
have that dead pixel issue. So like notice like how we just changed it to Helvetica, for example, and we're still not having that dead pixel issue. So
Yeah.
so that's very helpful. Because we were designing, for example, yesterday, and we were on a particular font, let's say a font that we imported, and then we selected triangle, and it was not being as friendly
Yeah.
as possible. So we switched it to restore default style, and we have flush triangle.
The triangles were not being friendly.
The triangles are not being friendly at all.
Friendly
So now we have friendly triangles here. All right. So definitely check out the Emojis panel. The Emojis panel is how we create, quite a few of our graphics on building blocks that you'll see over the course of the next few weeks. For example, here, right? So these little designs here in our building blocks lower third, those can be emojis as well. Right.
Yes.
So
All right. So let's remove this triangle. Yes. Awesome. So that's how we put this bookmark that you see right here. We just added the two triangles. We put it together.
Yep.
And that's all the things that you could do. You could get two shapes and put them together. Put them on the top, put them on the bottom, sideways, however, and create shapes that look really good.
Yeah.
And you can do it all inside of Ecamm. So now when you're trying to do that and you're getting your triangles, you're getting super fun. Oh my gosh, this is great. And you are not organizing your folders, you're gonna be like, what's going on? So now we're gonna cover the importance of creating folders and organizing your scenes so that you can have a beautiful show, a beautiful presentation if that's what you're doing, and just have using your word, a friendly
organize your content.
so
your content can be
friendly scenes panel and overlays
so
panel.
Your content can be friendly to you, right? And as Anna just mentioned, right? So it's important that you organize in folders in both your scenes panel and your overlays panel. So you want to start with the scenes panel?
Yes. Okay. So the scenes, but this I'm trying to do my best to just have this
DJ,
microphone.
what's up,
oh my
DJ?
Gosh. Hey, DJ.
No, you're good.
What's going on?
You're
Yeah,
good.
you need like every time he comes over, we need to have the straight out of
Straight
Ecamm,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is the shirt
There you
that I'm
go.
wearing. By the way, I'm wearing this shirt. You guys, for those of you who are new, there was a whole thing about this straight out of Ecamm shirt, and DJ Radon Beat, who just joined, like he created an amazing beat for Ecamm fam. Okay. So we're going to talk about the scenes. And this is not only applicable for when you're designing, but this is applicable for everything, for all of your scenes. When you're designing your shows, if you, for example, created a profile for a presentation or for you have a podcast or a video cast and you have different episodes, you can create folders for the different episodes and have them there nicely organized on your scenes panel. Okay, so now we're gonna go. You're going to be my.
I cannot be to zoom in, zoom out because
you
I need a zoom out key and a zoom in key separately.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay, got you. All right. So this is the scenes panel, right? So this is the folder that you created. And to create a folder, the only thing you need to do is click on this folder right here, and it will show up, right? It will be as new group. So we just gonna name it episode 1. There we go. And then if we want to put it all the way to the top, we just go ahead and drag it up. We have it there. And then also, if you want to then add scenes inside of it, you can do the same thing. So I'm going to hold Shift and click the last scene. And then I'm going to drag it into episode 1. Okay. And then show graphics we can move it up here. So you can do things like that, right? But just for this, and then we're going to get episode 1 and we're going to put it inside the Building Blocks show graphics, right? So that is your episode right here. bam, clean, awesome, amazingness happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have our scenes panel organized, let's go to the overlays panel,
Yeah.
Mr. Fuljens.
Yes, yes, yes.
Or did I miss anything about the scenes panel?
No, that's great. So because so the strategy that you just used, right? Applying episode 1. So let's say BB show graphics is going to be like a series of shows, right? So you wanted to have different groups in there. So you could have episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, right? And then something cool about these folders is that episode 1, let's say you want to keep the same, the flow of the run of show, like waiting, screen, thumbnail, main overlays, and et cetera, et cetera. You basically copy that folder and then rename it episode 2, and then just update the content that we do, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's a practice that we apply on for ENN, right? Because
Yes.
ENN, we normally have like the same lower third. Let's say we have we're hosting and we have a guest coming in, so the run of show will be similar. We'll have some similarities. So we'll copy that show and then update like the lower third, the scrolling ticker to give it the
look that we want,
current date, the current weather, time and temperature, all that good stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a good practice.
And exactly. So you have all of this organized and you can even, okay, so say you have it just like, for example, I have an iMac and we sometimes stream, or most of the time streams from the iMac. But then if we want to stream from the laptop, which we're doing right now, or if we have a production or anything like that, the coolest thing is that we can grab that folder and export that folder with all of our scenes and overlays and organized content, and then bring it to a different laptop. And you will have all of your things organized, everything.
Right. Yeah, all your overlays and everything, right? So it's basically simply taking the for example, BB show graphics, dragging and dropping it onto the desktop or to the folder of your choice, and then you could upload that to a Dropbox, for example, and then Anna will go to Dropbox and just download it and upload it to Ecamm, right? The only things that will not transfer over will be fonts that you imported, right? So it'll be good to like also add those fonts into the Dropbox as well. So whoever is going to take control of that will have the font and the music, right? So that bachata song. The bachata song will have to go into the Dropbox folder as well. So you could drag and drop that into the scenes of your choice, right? So things like that. But the pictures, the logos, the animations, like this Building Blocks animated logo, all that is going to get to transfer over into that Ecamm file.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so before we go into the overlays. Do you want to answer Wayne's question? And then also what do we have? Say what if Dr. Dre, hi.
What's up, Dre?
Okay. And Eden, yes, no folder. I
feel attacked. And hello, Sylvia.
We're attacking you.
Sylvia, the coffee is amazing.
The
I love
coffee
it.
Tastes really good, and I do believe it's a light roast, which I'm just sipping right now.
Definitely not dark, but this is awesome. Sometimes I have more than usual problems working with text, or even things like establishing a simple background takes time to achieve. Well, Wayne, you're in the right place. So we're gonna eventually go over all those things. And
so Wayne, we're gonna cover that next episode. We're gonna show all of that, and we're gonna
referring to like probably using the text background.
The text backgrounds. So we're gonna cover all of that for you, and we do have tricks, and it can be a little tricky if you're not used to using the background. So we're gonna cover all of that for you, for all of you who are new, who are gonna be designing with Ecamm.
Yeah, it's simple, but right now this current build of Ecamm, there's like a sometimes like when you're changing the color of a text background, it'll like shrink, and you just have to resize it. But it's simple. But the team is working on that, and it'll be corrected. Okay.
Yes.
So let's go back to here. Let's go back to.
So the topic of the meeting after the show today will be zoom in and zoom out keys. Dean, yes, I mean.
All right. So here in the overlays panel, Ms. Zoomer.
Ms. Zoomer. I'm a zoomer. I'm a zoomer.
Right. Let's zoom out a little bit. Right. So we've organized this as follows, right? So we have animation. So animation, this is where we have a logo, for example, right? Text. This is if you actually had like text, like, like how we were showing in the other screens, like where we're mentioning overlays and lower thirds, right? So anything, right? Text anything can go in there. Shapes, this is where we have the bookmark, right? The series of triangles that's formed that bookmark shape in the upper right corner. Camera overlay, that's us there. That's our camera. And you could also rename that if you want to. Right? So now it's called main. So, you know, and let's say you had, and you're using interview mode and you have a guest coming in, right? So you could have another camera there side by side or however you want to shape it and rename that as guest, for example, right? So lower third. Now lower third is going to be a little bit more complex because this is a series of shapes and whatnot, right? So we have it organized lower third names. That's where you have building blocks with Anna and Fuljens. You have some accents here. So like these are like you have like these little bullets on the side. So let me move it over, right? Notice that. So these things here, it's all text, right? But we put it in its own folder so we know where to identify it, how to manipulate it, how to change the color and whatnot. So we want to make sure it's in its own folder. And then lower third body is a series of rectangles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles, right? So 1, 2, 3. There's a thin rectangle underneath the white one. 4, 5. There's like 2 other ones in the bottom left corner, right? So that's a series of rectangles there. And background, right? So this is what Wayne was referring to earlier. Our background is a text overlay background.
Yes. So if we could turn it on and off, you will see. So this is the importance. You have the background there, so you can just turn the background off.
Mm-hmm. And now you know it's like the screen is black, and then we turn it back on. You get that nice midnight back in there.
The midnight color. So that is it. And say, for example, you wanted to, you have a different episode. You're like me who likes to change things a lot and drive your co-host crazy about changing things, right? I'm like, okay, Fuljens, how about we change the building block shape into a different color? He now can go to the folder like now.
Right.
So for example, let's change a Fuljens to a different color.
And then this is what we're and what Wayne was probably referring to. Notice what's going to happen, right? So we're going to go to background, and then we're going to select background, right? So notice like it's.
Well, I was talking about the lower third.
What
Like
is
changing
it?
the color of the lower
Oh, you
third.
want to change the color of the lower third? Oh, not the background. All right, we'll leave the background for another time.
Yeah, leave the background.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right, so let's say we want to go to lower third.
Yes.
We're going to go to lower third body for us, right? Because we named it that way. And the name rectangle, right? So this one here, this is that, the bluish, whatever color this is.
Yes.
We're going to change the color.
And then we have our beautiful color palette that we already created that we can change to any color we want, right? So there we go. Just choose the color.
Let's check new episode without a number in front of it. Save, done, right? So you don't, it takes out all the guessing when you organize in the folder. You know exactly where to go. So now it's like, okay, I like this, but I don't like the white anymore. I want to change that. So I go to this one. And notice too, when you're selecting one, it's actually, Ecamm is actually highlighting it for you with the X and the pencil over there, right? So you can know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
So
and we don't have those layers locked right now, but you should always lock them, especially after you have them.
And the reason it's not locked is because when you copy and paste an entire folder with layers, it's into another scene, it's going to unlock them. So it's good practice to go back and lock them again. That's what's happening here because that's what happened was.
You see,
right?
So this is how simple it is. But let's say that you created your text, created your shapes, and you just left it as the default text. Can you imagine that? Right? That happened. That was before when we first started designing. It was like that. And then we were trying to change something and we're like, where the is it? And then we would try looking until we're like, you know what? This is it.
You know what? There's a
that, right? Literally. So now it's easier to say, you know, those dots that you see right on the building blocks, we can change it to whatever color because they're individual in there and we can find them. And if Fuljens got that training correctly, he actually organized the dots in order.
Yeah,
so let's see. They are in order?
Well, let's see. Let's put this to the test. Right?
Okay.
So we're going to go to lower third accents here. And starting with, Yeah. Yeah.
Continue, because
Boom.
this is, I'm so proud
Boom.
of you.
Boom.
Perfect. All
All right.
right. So that is, listen, come. That's amazing. So this is how you will go in there and just check and add different colors to where you can change whatever color you want. And in here, we just change the opacity to them.
Right. Right. So now, like, these dots here on the side, these bullets, they're different opacity. Right. So if you change the color, it's going to default back to 100. So let's say you set it to 70. If you change the color, it's going to go back to 100. So just make sure, just remember to set it back to 70 in the opacity, right? Let's just show you what we mean, because for the new users, you may not know where that is. So if we go to the second bullet here and we go to the color panel, right? If you notice opacity here, this is going to, this is how you want to set the level of transparency on your overlay, right? So right now it's set to 70. And then if we were to change the color, it's going to default back to 100. So you're going to have to set it back to 70 again, right? It's not going to keep that opacity once you switch the color.
So for everyone who is practicing this today or this weekend, you can go ahead in the Ecamm Live community. Okay, go to the Ecamm Live community and show us what you are creating. You can show us your colors, color palette that you have created. You can show us the fonts if you imported any fonts, which we will cover next week. But if you want to go ahead and search how to do that, which is completely easy, you can show it that as well. You can show us anything that you are working on after this. You can post it in the Ecamm Live community, and then you just do hashtag BuildingBlocks, hashtag Ecamm Live. Okay, and then we will see it there. We will check it out, all the great things that you are creating.
Absolutely.
So, okay, so what else? What else? Any questions, anyone? Any questions, you amazing people out there early in the morning on a Friday learning and us drinking this amazing Ecamm coffee and this cool belly cup?
It's awesome. I love it.
Any questions for us regarding the interface, regarding the design, regarding the folder organization, what we're gonna cook for the weekend?
We covered quite a lot today.
Yeah, and this is just the beginning, because next week we're going to then show you how you can put all of that together. Next week we're designing different types of camera overlays, and it's also a thing where we can. It's not only for if you have a show. It's not only if you have a live stream, if you're a stream. It could also be for presentations, and we're going to be covering how you can utilize the text overlays to have your own points that you're talking about on presentations. If you're a teacher, if you're a speaker, if you are, or if you have your live streams, you can be using it on Ecamm, but also you can use Keynote with it, and we will talk about how you can use Keynote like inside of Ecamm as well.
Because, like, for example, here, this is all done in in Ecamm, right? So this is all native to Ecamm. It's not like something that we imported as a slide, right? So it's the text overlay background to create the solid background color, and then we added the text here, and we add the camera overlay and things like that, right? So all this can be done directly in Ecamm, and the pros of that is that you have full control over that. You want to change something, you made a typo, you can just edit that right there in Ecamm itself, versus going back into Canva or going back into Keynote, right? But if of course, if you want to do something more elaborate, it does make sense for you to, maybe control it in Keynote and stuff like that, and then use it as a screen share overlay. So, there's other ways around it. But if you want to do something simple like this, it does not hurt to just design it directly in there, and you have full control. You don't need to have an external source.
Right. And you can do cool things like this. So let me show you. Like, now I get to do this because Fuljens last night didn't want to let me do it. So you can do things
make sure you're
like
back
this.
in demo mode too, right?
Oh, I didn't even know. Okay,
Yeah, we're not in demo mode. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. Thank you.
There you go.
Mister. Okay, so things like this. So when we were talking before, so you can break it. So let me see. Overlays are the larger general graphics that you see on screen.
So what we did was we held down Shift and pressed Return.
And then such as camera. Okay, so this will stay like that. Actually, I want to make it a little bit more. I want to annoy you a little bit more. So let me go like this. Okay, so you can move it.
And it's
Oh, it's
locked.
locked. Perfect. Okay,
So what
so
we're
we're
gonna
gonna go
do,
to text.
identify it, and then unlock it under text,
Unlock it.
right?
See,
So
you
this,
see the simpleness
yeah,
of this. We can do this, and then if you want to do like extra, like mess with Fuljens even more, you can actually drag it from the edges a little more, and then you can pose. You can move it however you want to. Right, and the camera overlay is locked, so we are going to go to
she's
camera overlay folder.
what's called anti-designing. She's anti-designing everything.
I'm just messing because Fulgens, like you see, but look at how this looks.
Right. So this is um a not so welcome example of how you have full control in Ecamm if you want to, like, so let's say somebody sends you the slides the way it was before and you don't like it that way, so you could move it around and change it however you want to change it, right?
That's exactly
You're on
right.
your end, right? Because like if you were to get the slides from Keynote, it's going to come in as like a PNG, for example, and you can't do anything with it. Versus here, you can do all this not so cool stuff that Anna just did here.
But you know what? What you guys like it? You guys like it? It's I will think it's cool, and you can move it. And another thing that you can do that's really cool. Sometimes we do it right because right now we're just having fun. You can go back to here and say you wanted to highlight because it's something that's popular now, right? You want to say logos, and then you want to, let's see, what's the blue, so it will be teal, right? You can do this like that, so
cool
it's like,
stuff like
oh yeah, cool. And look at how it changed it, right?
Yeah.
Look at how that simple color change made it look a little bit more like pisassy.
And then, okay, so we have a comment from JFG 2003, right? I like to create a toolbox of scenes, example, welcome, single cam, web page view, etc. But I always get confused in putting them in show in all scenes or only in current scenes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, right? So show in current scene, and it's very self-explanatory, JFG. JFG, I said it right the first time. Show in current scene is only what you want to show in the current scene, right? So let's say you want this lower third, for example, to appear in all scenes. But we're not going to do that because it's a lot of folders. Don't want to mess anything up. But for another example, we're going to go into animation, and then we're going to take this animation, the logo, right? So if we take the logo and we show it in all scenes, so now no matter what scene we switch to, that logo is going to be there, right? So if we're in main, the logo is there.
And you can move the logo. I mean, you can move it wherever you want to have it, and it will show on each scene.
In all scenes, wherever you move it. So if you moved it in one scene, it's gonna move there because like that's the prominent placement for it, right? So no matter where we go, it's going to be there, right? But if you don't want it to do that, you make sure that you don't have anything showing in all scenes or just only what you want. So let's say you have a timer, right? You have the timer showing in all scenes. It's going to appear no matter what scene you switch to, right? So where did this come from? Animation folder. Came from here, right? So now we'll just take it back and bring it back down to showing current scene. So now when we switch to, for example, lower thirds or main, it's gone, right? And then what we did not cover is showing background. Showing background is, for example, if you have a background image, right? So if we hide this background and we wanted to bring in like a PNG, for example, and you want it to show in all scenes also, or you just want to have it always in the background, you could have it here, right? But this is for a background image. Yeah, let's do that. Real
quick, yeah. Oh, but like we drag it from...
Oh, okay. Got you. Right. So perfect example. We're just going to go to the waiting screen. We'll be right back. Wait, no,
we're thumbnail. Actually, the thumbnail. Oh, no. Okay.
Thumbnail, yeah. So we could take this and let's say we would just have it show in background, right? That's fine, right? Because it's not going to impact this because we currently have this scene set to source blank. So this is when it's blank, whatever shows in the background, this is a perfect example. When a source is blank, when a scene is blank, showing background is what's going to be dominant, right? So now if we come here back to together, notice that the thumbnail is in the background because it's showing in background and we have our source set to blank.
So
Okay.
say it was set to camera, this is what would happen.
If you set the source to camera, it's going
will
to
take
have
over.
the camera is going to take over. But if you don't want that, make sure your source is blank. You could just go source blank or do Command Shift B for blank. Okay. And so now let's hide the thumbnail. And now it goes back to black because we want to use our text overlay background. We could do it that way, right? And you could not only have one, you can have a series of backgrounds and show in background, right? So you could select whichever one you want for your presentation or your show.
That is right. So hopefully that answers your question. JFG 2003 on a Friday morning at Building Blocks with Anna and Fuljens.
Oh, you liking your pod? You liking your pod
I
mic
had to
voice?
go in there like, nah, I just have to be like.
You like your pod mic voice? I got you.
No, I like my Lewitt. He made me use this because he's on his setup here.
No, but the Lewitt is very noisy. This is a glass desk. It is so noisy on top of this glass desk.
Do not speak bad things about the Lewitt. Do not. Okay, so that was a great question. That was a great question. And any other questions before we close, everyone? Any other? This has been great.
Yes, it has.
It's awesome to go back to
The basics.
The basics. It's always great to go back to the basics where anything, because you get inspired and we cannot wait to see the things that you, the new users here, new creating, and also you are, like veterans already. Just let us see your color palette. Let us see your font collection as well inside of Ecamm. And then Wayne, if you're still watching, play more with the background and let us see even if you just have a video and show us what happens when you are doing it. That will be great. You can either post it on the Ecamm Live community, or if you want it to be a little bit more close, go to our group, Anna and Fuljens on Facebook, and then post it there as well.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
any one of you.
Definitely. Yeah. So new users, if you want to get in touch with us, definitely join our Facebook community. Just search for the Facebook group Anna and Fuljens. If you have any questions between now and next Friday, we'll answer them there in the group, right? You could feel free to do it in the Ecamm Live community, but, and we'll be monitoring both, but, we can see it, we'll find it in our community as well.
Yes.
So definitely reach out to us with any questions you may have. And Mr. Moderator is sharing the information in the chat for you as well. There's a group and there's a YouTube channel, right? So we are here to help you.
Yes, and next week, so now make sure that this weekend, or before next Friday, you have your font ready, you have your colors palette ready, because we are going to be designing next week. So you're going to be getting, you're going to know how to add the fonts. You're going to know how to add the background, the text behind for your images. You're going to know how to import images if you're not familiar with importing as well. And
and then Spatia, we're going to cover this in detail because there's a lot to there's so much you can do with those features. Could you add a timer to the images, to change from two backgrounds back and forth?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can do that in scenes. There's a feature in 3.9 which is automated scenes, right? So you can do it there, or you could add your own timers so it could switch, but it requires scenes, right? And we're definitely going to go into that because there's so much you can do with the automated scenes feature in Ecamm.
So the short answer is yes, you can. Yes, you can.
But if you want to play with it between now and the time that we cover it, in the scenes panel next to where new group is, there is an automatic group. Well, we're not in demo mode. I'm going to see it.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's just go into demo mode real quick. Right next to new group, there's new automatic group, right? So you can add your scenes there, your backgrounds and everything, whatever you want to rotate, it will rotate in that folder. But there's so much creativity there. We cannot cover it today.
Yeah.
But
it is definitely on the schedule.
Yes.
It's definitely on the schedule for because that's one of the great features that were added in 3.9, and you can add your music and you can the folders can listen,
so much.
You guys.
You could have your background color changing and rotating, or you could have lower thirds, like the lower third that we have here. If you wanted to say something else, you just organize your scenes accordingly, and it will rotate without even blinking an eye, and no one will notice what's going on. Your hands free. Look,
and if you want to, and if you want to get ahead and do that before we cover on our building blocks on YouTube, we actually cover that.
Yeah.
It's called Automated Scenes. You go in there and you check it out, and you can get, and then go ahead, practice it, and post it on the Ecamm Live community, hashtag building blocks, hashtag Ecamm Live, and you will be able to so we can see it.
Absolutely.
You should also do hashtag Anna and Fuljens. Yeah.
There you go. Where do we think we're heading in the next 6 months with improvement? Well, hopefully it's not that long, but so check out the Q&A with Ken and Glenn from was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
damn, time flies.
It did fly.
Time flies.
Yeah, but Wayne, one of the things where we're heading is making it more intuitive, and as well as adding shapes. That's something that's in the feature request. So, like you're saying, within 6 months, we might see that, right?
Or
adding,
less.
adding shapes. So it will be instead of going to the emoji keyword and have those
triangles,
triangles, and we will have just like Keynote, for example. It will have the shapes, triangles, circles, lines, and things like that. So that is where, great question, Wayne, is going to become even easier to design inside of Ecamm Live.
Yes.
Even easier. So
shapes would be clutch. Exactly.
That Absolutely, is right.
Totally. Yeah. Spotty, you're welcome.
Oh my gosh, for real, Tony, it will be clutch. And that's something that we're, nicely kind of reminding, but they have a lot of other features as well, so we don't know. It's gonna be a surprise. Yes. Okay, everyone, that was it for today. Building Blocks Friday in the morning. We should have the bachata playing as we say goodbye right now because it's Friday and it is going to be a long weekend, and I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and safe, and we got fireworks. You see, like now we go out in style with our Ecamm coffee, which has been added to the merch, merch.ecamm.com, and you can go ahead and check it out. And Sylvia, are these amazing Ecamm Network news cups added as well? Are they? Here, give me two.
I gotta do the right hand. The right hand.
He's left-handed. He's handed. So speaking of ENN, for those of you who follow us on ENN, we are going to be off for ENN on Friday. So I mean on Monday. Yeah. But we will come back the following Monday.
And we'll be here the next Friday as well for Building Blocks. We have some fireworks. We're excited.
Yeah.
Some legal fireworks.
Some legal fireworks. Yes. So what are you guys doing? Let's see what's going on in here. Okay. Have a happy holiday weekend, sis. Yeah. Turn it up.
Yeah.
Turn it up.
Yes. Make it British. You're very welcome.
Yes, you are so welcome. You're so welcome. And something fun that we're designing for ENN, everyone, is going to be an 80s inspired profile. So the profile is going to have all of the scenes and the camera overlays and the lower thirds and animations, 80s inspired, all the colors and the flashes and things like that. So we're working on that.
Stop snitching.
And Fuljens loves lights in the background, right? So he's gonna do a lot of lights in the background and stuff like that. So that's gonna be great.
Stop snitching.
And that was the snitch for Friday morning at 10 a.m. with Building Blocks. Show graphics. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. Have a safe holiday, and we will see you next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on LinkedIn, Ecamm Live YouTube, and on
YouTube.com/AnnaFuljens.
Yes. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Now we go to the real closing screen.